Hello there and welcome to my channel. Sorry about the angle, I can never find the right angle for these videos, but this will have to do for now. I just felt like doing a video today, as I do now and again. That's usually how my videos start. I feel like doing a video today. I've been in my job 10 months now. I started in June, well, end of June, not early June, so I've been there about 10 months, and I just wanted to recap really on what that experience has been like, because there might be people out there watching who are new in a job, or you've recently been new in a job, or just that you remember being new in a job at some point in your life. So being the new person, I still feel new, even though it's 10 months, almost a year in. That's still new to me. Some people feel like the new person a year into their job, 2 years into the job, even longer, and other people may feel like no longer the new person after just a few weeks or a few months. It's different for everybody, I think. I don't know if there's a general statistic on that. I'm sure there is a study on that somewhere out there, to say how long people generally find they take to settle into jobs. But anyway, so I still feel like I'm new, and just recently, well, I've had 2 weeks off annual leave, so I've just been off for Easter, because I work in a school, so I've been off for half-term Easter holiday, and I don't automatically get that, so I've had to book that time off. But anyway, after a really nice couple of weeks off away from work and having a lie-in and not having to get up in the morning and doing my own thing, seeing friends and family and doing other bits and bobs and stuff, which has been really nice, and it has been nice and sunny as well, which is unusual for the UK sometimes. I'm finding going back to work quite difficult, and I know for a lot of people it's difficult going back to work after a holiday or break, but yeah, I know that's kind of a typical feeling, nothing unusual there. But yeah, I'm just finding it hard to get motivated again. But today I kind of got my motivation back a little bit. Yesterday was a bit like, yesterday was Monday, by the way, because you may not know if you're watching this at a late stage, but anyway, yesterday was Monday. I found it, I started at 8:30, so I started quite early enough, but I just didn't do a whole lot. I just did a few bits and bobs, bit of catch up, checking my emails for the last 2 weeks and like responding to anything that needed responses. And one of the emails that we got, either while I was off or the day yesterday, I can't remember, I think it might have been sent yesterday actually, and it was about doing another satisfaction survey for our clients, while our clients are students at the end of the day, and we've already done that. That's what, like, we've been doing that since September. I've been sending these feedback forms out and they've been returning them, and we did a report on it. We did a whole report on that, so I'm a bit confused as to why we're doing another one. But they said, oh yeah, we're doing another one, and like and I just thought, right, okay. And we got 2 emails from 2 different managers, 2 different people about the same thing, and one said it's that time of year again, and a load of spiel, and then a few links to like the survey for the students to complete and things like that. And then we got another email saying, this is the email you need to send to your students, and here's the link, the email link. And it was really confusing because these 2 emails both had slightly different, not conflicting content, but slightly different content. And I remembered one particular person's name who sent this out, but not the other name, so it came from 2 people. And there was one of the questionnaires that was sent out was like a paper version or a Word version, that we could read the questions. We can use the Word version with the students as well, or we can use the SurveyMonkey link. So it was just crazy because I remembered one person's name, and I just couldn't remember who had sent the other email. I thought it was the same lady, and I couldn't remember who had sent like which email. And we've just had a team meeting a bit ago, finished about an hour ago, And in this team meeting, they were talking about the survey, and I said, oh, I couldn't see a link for the paper version, the Word version. And everybody said, oh, it's on the email, it's on the email. They didn't say it nastily, they just said, it's on the email, Ruth. And I just said, oh, well, I couldn't see it. And then I looked at the email again, and I looked, and because it was from a different person, the email I was looking at was from the other lady and not the one that did send. If you get me, I was looking at the wrong one, because there's two people writing about the same thing. Completely confused me. And I think when you're new, and you're still fairly new, 10 months in, you still don't know everybody's job role. You get all these emails from different people about different things, and it can be confusing when you're still new to a team and you're thinking, well, she's sending that out, and now another manager's sending something out about the same thing, and then someone else, you know, it's really, really confusing sometimes. So I didn't, apparently this link was there, and even the lady that sent the email out and the link was on there, it was right at the bottom, and I could barely see it, and it didn't look obvious to me where it was, and it was, you know, quite a long email with this link at the bottom. And obviously I didn't maybe read it all the way through, I just read the basic, oh right, okay, I can come back to that email or whatever. And in the meeting, I must have looked so stupid and ridiculous, because I just said, well, I couldn't see the link. And everyone said, well, it's there, Ruth, it's there. And then the manager of the team just said, oh, well, can we come back? Yeah, it's on the email, Ruth. Can we just sort this out later, because we've got to get on with the meeting. And I just felt like an idiot, because it was obviously clear to everyone else that the link was there. And I think when you're new, it's not just like when you're opening an email and you've been there ages, and you know who people are, you know who everyone is, and you know what their job role is, and you know what kinds of emails to expect from certain people because of their job role, and what kinds of things they're going to send out. And if you're looking for that email again, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that person's name, because I know who would have sent that out, it would have been so and so. But when you're new, you're like, you don't always remember these people's names. So when you're trying to backtrack an email, I know you can use the search box and things like that, and I tried that, but that doesn't always work on Microsoft. I found that with Outlook, that on Gmail, it seemed to find emails a bit easier. I think when in my last job we used to use Gmail, everything was Google Docs and everything, and I just found that an easier system to use. I don't know if that's just me, or if there's somebody out there that's had an experience of Microsoft and Outlook and all of that, Outlook 365, and online, you know, using the online version of Microsoft and using Gmail, because I've found the Gmail just so much easier kind of to use and easier to actually find emails. Maybe other people are finding the opposite, I don't know. But trying to get my head around, I've used Microsoft emails before in the past, but you know, not for a while, I guess. And I just couldn't find the email, because I didn't really know, I couldn't remember the name of the person, I didn't know who I was looking for, and then I couldn't find the link, and then I was in this meeting just looking stupid. I shouldn't have asked the question in front of everybody. I should have waited and asked like my mentor or something, and not really make myself look stupid. But it's just little things like that when you're new, because you haven't built up that credibility yet for yourself. You haven't built up that, oh yeah, well, she's really good at her job, or he's really knowledgeable, or he's a really nice guy, she's a really nice girl, whatever. You know, you haven't built that rapport really up yet properly, and you haven't really got any wins under your belt, you know, in terms of things that people recognize you for. Oh yeah, I've heard like, oh, she's really good at that, or he's the go-to person if you need that, or she's the, you know, oh, they're really approachable, that person's really supportive, that, why don't you speak to so and so. You know, you get this credibility, this reputation for being helpful or knowledgeable or, you know, skilled or whatever. And when you're new, you haven't got that credibility yet. So you've got to make that impression. And when you feel like you don't know what's going on, you don't know who's who, the systems aren't easy to use. I found that also on Microsoft, I tried to save something. I thought I'd saved it correctly under the Teams drive, and it hadn't saved. I got no idea why, because I followed the instructions and saved it and didn't save properly. So it looked like I hadn't updated something when I had. And little things like that. There's just the systems, and on one of the databases I managed to change a whole caseload instead of one person. So I was trying to change one person's school from one school to another school, and I managed to change the whole caseload completely by accident. And luckily, one of my other colleagues said, Ruth, I did exactly the same thing. The same thing happened to me. So someone else piped up and said it happened to me. And I know it did happen to someone else. So that's 3 of us. And that person made me feel, and this person was new as well, been there a bit longer than me. And that person made me feel a whole lot better, because she was like admitting that, yeah, it happened to me, Ruth, it's not just you. It's obviously too much of an easy mistake to make, because that's 3 of us now, it's not just you. And that made me feel better, because I feel like I'm trying to get my head around these systems and databases and this and that, and they should be simple and straightforward, but they're just not. I don't know why, they're just not. I found Google Docs quite easy to get my head around in my last job, and I was creating a lot of folders for other people to use, and files, and you know, folders within folders, you know, and drives, even creating drives on G Docs, and all kinds of stuff like that. Google Classroom I started to use, found that quite easy. It's just, I'm just finding, I know Microsoft is probably a lot more sophisticated and a lot more complicated, literally, and probably you can do a lot more with it than Google Docs, and I know there's probably that element to it, but I just found it, trying to save things online, knowing where things work, like our team, not just our team but our company, they seem to just make things so chaotic. There's like teams, and then there's teams within teams, and then there's crossover teams, and then there's all kinds of sub folders, and it's not easy to find what you're looking for on the system. So that's one, that's not Microsoft's fault, that's just the way our organisation does it. But I'm just wondering if anyone else out there has experienced something like, when you're the new person, you've got to get to know people, you've got to get to know your way around, because I'm in a new location, so there's also that, getting to know my way around. I don't know anybody in this area, I'm having to get to know people, you know, and find my way around. So that's disorientating a little bit to start with. You know, getting to know people because you don't know anyone, so you're feeling isolated. I live on my own, and you know, I'm not in a relationship, so I'm on my own in that sense, and it's hard work, you know, it's draining and tiring, and it's hard work doing this alone. And then you've got to build up your credibility at work, you've got to get used to systems and your job role and people, and there's a lot to take in. And I think people that have been in their jobs a long time, especially managers, you know, and they forget what it's like to be new, they forget what it feels like, they forget how tiring it might be, how confusing it might be, how daunting it might be to be in I think they do recognise that, but I don't think they fully recognise the practicalities around being the new person and all the things that comes with. So if anyone out there is got anything to comment on either being a new person in a company, did you have a good experience, did you have a bad experience, was it friendly, was it hard in some way, what did you find hard about it, and also maybe using systems, databases, you know, have you had any experiences around that, both good and bad, you know, any systems that you have used that you liked, or anything that you want to say about Google versus Microsoft, or Microsoft, you know, in and of itself. Anybody had complications with any of these things? Is anyone like me, just completely lost the plot? I'd like to hear from you. So I just wanted to do that little video today, because it's about time I did a video to just put out there and keep in touch with you guys. So thanks for watching. As always, take care and goodbye.